quickly. So we're going to continue to look as it moves. Now it is moving to the northeast, north of the verdigris, on the south side of Claremore, and I'd say it's coming up right now, maybe a quarter mile, almost over Route 66, moving towards Will Rogers. So again, people in those areas need to take the precautions they need to. We can see some lowerings every now and again, but again, it's hard to see if it's a defined funnel cloud or not. As we move in, there's some power flashes. That tells us something's on the ground out there, some high winds. We might come to the right a little bit. Right in there, you can start to see rotation right there on the right side of your screen. Right there, you see that rotation? That's where it's back on the ground. This is on the south side of Claremore right now. We see the power flashes in that area. It just came back down again. It just defined that definition. We can see the power flashes. It's about to cross. It just crossed Route 66, and it looks like it's moving midway between 66 and I-44 at this time. Again, south side of Claremore, moving east-northeast at this time. Travis?
Right, Will, I appreciate that. And if we can double box or go back to our boxes for a second so I can show folks on where it is. This is the one that's up to the north. If this tornado warning still for Centralia, Cockleburg Flats, and this is northeast of NOWATA right now. Dick's doing a storm track on that. Coming back to ours, this is on the south side of Claremore. This is Claremore right up in this area, okay? So literally the rotating area that we're talking about is right here. And this is where we have right now. Val has some, right now, Val, are you there?
Guys, can you hear us?
All right.
Tornado down.
Tornado on the ground, and it's getting bigger again.
All right, on the south side of Claremore, right now, there's the tornado on the ground. On the
road.
Is it right on Lynn? It should be on
Tornado down.
Yeah, on Lynn Riggs Boulevard, on between 500 Road and Southeast Flint.
It's getting big.
All right, if you are in that area, and what is that? Marty's on there too? Okay.
Look at that.
Our guys are all online. You guys are all live right now. The tornado's on the ground right now. Val, give me an update. What do you got? Or just
Okay, it's on the ground, and I think it's probably getting very close. If it's not on I-44 right now on the south edge of Claremore, or maybe just south of Claremore, it's rapidly gotten bigger. We just saw a big debris cloud just a minute ago. I don't know. Do you have my live stream?
Yeah, we've got Val. Yeah, Val, we've got yours right now.
All right. Well, look at my shot here. You'll see it.
We see it.
It's on the ground. I mean, it's gotten. I mean, that the other one roped out, and this is a new one that formed just a little bit further to the east, to the northeast of it.
All right,
and it's got a big debris cloud.
Hang on, Val, for 1 second. This is on the south side of Claremore right now. If you're on South Muskogee Road between southeast Flint and extending just into the downtown area and just on down to the south a little bit on East 520 Road, you need to be taking cover. The circulation is right there. That's where the tornado is located right now. And so the tornado on the ground right at this second. So if you're in this area of southern Claremore, and just as Dick mentioned a little bit ago, you need to be taking cover right now. Tornado on the ground. Will, are you still there?
Yeah, Travis, it's getting pretty dark, but we got that funnel cloud on the ground, backlit against Claremore right here. It just crossed I-44. As you can still see, it's moving, and it is a much lower area. You can see the top part where it's real dark, a defined lowering, and it is a thick funnel cloud. It looks like it's even picked up intensity from what we had earlier in the day. So again, we see it on the ground. It looks to be a much larger funnel tornado than we saw earlier. So again, not as weak as the ones we saw, but moving east, northeast. And again, we can see it up against the city. You can see the darkness, how low the ceilings are, and then how thick that funnel part of the tornado is right there as it's moving from the wall cloud down to the ground. Again, putting up a lot of debris. It's hard to see with the camera. We can still see it with our naked eye up here a little bit, but again, hard to see with the camera, so we're just trying to backlight it for you. Travis?
All right, Will, thanks. I appreciate it. Again, everything Sky News 6 has been doing, Osage Sky News 6 HD. Thank you, guys. I'm going to get down to Vaughn. Vaughn, right now, you look like you're real close to the tornado, as well as Val and Marty. What do you have?
Yeah, we crossed some debris
right now
on I-44, ran over debris on I-44. We are now exiting on Highway 20, and we're going to get east of this, Travis. I'm not seeing anything right now. Oh, yeah, power flashes. Hold on a second, Travis. Hold on.
I'm looking.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we're going to get on Highway 20 and go east and follow this as it moves to the east and to the northeast.
All right, and hang on, guys, for 1 second. Again, this is on East Country Club Road on the south side of Claremore right now. It's wrapped up where you guys are at this particular moment, and it's from Flint Road on the south side, and then that goes all the way up to East 490 Road. So this is just on the very south side of the downtown, or really of Claremore itself. This is going to be moving along Highway 20 as it moves to the east. So if you're in this area, you need to take cover as this continues to track to the northeast. These are 1-minute updates coming up from our live radar. And where Vaughn is located from East Country Club Road down to Flint Road where Val is located, we continue to have a high probability of a tornado. This is recycling. This has been continuing to recycle as we have gone through the last 2 hours. And so there's a high probability this isn't going to quit for a while longer as we continue. 10,000 people are out of power in the Tulsa area. 10,000 people are also out of power, or customers, we should say, are out of power in Osage County. Most of this has been due to the supercell that has been moving across northern Tulsa County and southeast Osage County. All right, Vaughn, all right, I'm going to go to Val first. Val, it looks like you're on the south side. Do you have any visual on that?
On the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Vaughn?
the tornado is still on the ground. It's straight north of us right now.
Okay.
Straight north of us about a mile or so. And right now we're on a highway. What is that highway right there? 60. What is that highway? Highway 88. We're on Highway 88. The tornado is north of us. And there's a very, very large debris cloud. Very large debris cloud. This thing is definitely doing damage on the ground. Back to you.
All right, Vaughn, you're also there. I got Val and Vaughn. Vaughn, I see your tornado's on the ground. Give us the location.
Yeah, tornado's on the ground. It just crossed I-44 about 2 minutes ago, right? And that was the debris I ran over, Travis. And it is moving. It is straight. What do we got here? Straight south of me right now, Travis.
Okay. All right.
The tornado straight south of me.
All right. That's East Country Club Road right now, and at about 4170 Road. If you're in that area on the southeast side of Claremore, you have to take cover right now. You can see it from Vaughn's video still, even though it's getting dark. That is moving at about 35 miles per hour, possibly even a little bit faster. Tornado on the ground continuing. Vaughn, you can do a play-by-play on that if you want to.
Yeah, right here. It's still on the ground. It's got some violent motion with it, Travis. I have a feeling it's going to be on the ground for a while. It's got rapid rotation with it. Right now, I'm not seeing a clear, if you got the video straight, but it's still on the ground. It's just you can't see the condensation all the way to it right now.
I can see pretty close to it. It looks pretty scary at this point.
Absolutely.
Marty and Val ran into a debris path. Debris path.
Debris on the I-44, just about 1 mile south of the Highway 20 exit.
Okay. Did they close that down? Do you know if they're going to have to?
No. I-44 did not close down.
Okay.
Anyway, it's still on the ground. Of course, it's getting darker, so the visibility of it's getting worse. But still on the ground, moving almost due east right now, Travis. So I'm going to get on Highway 20 and move east with it and get back with you.
All right. Again, appreciate it. And Val is on the south side of that right now, and he is located. And again, this is the rotating area. This is the tornado, which is located now, which is from just west of South 4190 Road, and it intersects with East 500 Road near Swan Road. If you are in this area, you need to be taking cover. Again, an actual tornado, which has been on the ground more than it has been off, continues to move to the east about 35 miles per hour. And Marty has been under this storm as well. Marty, I don't know if you're with me right now. Can you give me an update on what you see? Marty, okay. Marty, if you're with me, can you give me an update on what you've seen?
Yeah, Highway 4160 northbound. Val and I just ran into a debris path, and we're having a turnaround, backtrack south, and then we're going to get back east on it again. Let me look back out my window right quick, see if I can see. I mean, this thing's been up and down like a pogo stick, guys. It has been all over the place. So I can't see it right now in the tree. So let's go somebody else. Maybe they've got a better view of it.
It's a wedge.
All right,
We
got it.
We got a wedge on the ground.
And Vaughn, you back?
Yeah, it's a wedge. It looks like a wedge on the ground right now, Travis.
Okay, guys.
Very, very powerful.
All right.
On Highway, it's still south of Highway. I'm just now getting on
Highway 20 would be. Okay.
20. It's north of Highway 20. Hold on just a second, Travis. We're in some really, really heavy rain right now.
Yeah.
But we just got a glimpse of it before this heavy rain hit me, and it looked like a wedge that was on the ground.
All right.
So very dangerous tornado.
Yes, and we have at this time as well, again, the circulation feature is over southeast Swan Road, and that is moving to the east. It's along Highway 20. and just east of Vaughn at this time. Marty and Val are on the south side of that, and they're looking back up into that area as well. This is moving to the east at a pretty good clip, and Dick is also mentioning that we have as well. The tornado warning is still in effect for areas just to the east-southeast of Claremore, and this is going to take it along Highway 20, and this will take it from anywhere from 4190 Road to East 490 Road. That will continue to track parallel to Highway 20. And so if you're in this area, we need you to take cover. Obviously, we have a tornado still on the ground, and that goes as far north. We would like for you, again, it's wrapped up big time, and so this is damaging tornado, so our tornado warning continuing in effect. We have it till 8:15. And is that Vaughn? Okay, Vaughn, if you got the shot there, can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing?
Okay, there's still a rotation. Yeah, it's still south of 20. The area that's been spinning, there's an area north of me that looks like it's starting to spin too, Travis, north of 20 also.
Yes.
But it is still south 20. The area that had the tornado with it as it crossed I-44. And it's right ahead of me. I'm just about, if that much. So I'm going to slow down here, and I don't know. Is it moving more in an easterly direction, or is it moving northeast, Travis?
It is almost moving due east right now, and it's wrapping up on itself, so it's continuing to cycle, and as it cycles on through, we're getting those continuing new tornadoes to form right along that leading edge of that rotating area. So if you are in the area, and you guys, if Marty is available, we have, and I need a storm track back if you guys could, so I can show folks where it is. Double box for me for a second. Marty, are you there?
Okay, Marty's got it shot up right now. I don't see the tornado on the ground, but we are still moving north on it. Val's just ahead of me. Val and I got the south side covered. Sound like Vaughn's got the north side covered, and we're still moving in on it. I mean, now we're getting more difficult. Here we're at 8:11 p.m. at night. It's getting more difficult to really see this thing, so we've really got to watch our P's and Q's as we move in closer to this storm.
We got to get past
4180 is the road we just...
Whoa!
Power line flash, guys. Power line flash. So it is on the ground. It is on the ground north of us.
It's on the ground right there.
Now.
It's south of 20.
4180. Got it on the ground.
Okay, hold on. Vaughn, is it north or south of 20?
It's south of 20. The power line flashes were south of 20. I'm getting about 70 to 80 mile an hour winds right now.
All right.
On Highway 20, sucking into it, Travis.
Okay, and that's what this storm is headed toward Pryor. So if you are in these areas, you're right in the underneath the wall cloud right now. So you're real close to tornado. Be real careful right in there, guys. Again, you can see it's horrible driving in terms of in nighttime. These guys have to be real careful, but it is wrapped up. The hail core is just on the north side. It's over the turnpike right now. And the main part of this storm, again, the rotating part of this storm is right along Highway 20. If you're any place close to Highway 20 on the north or south side, you need to be taking cover right now. The Craig County storm is starting to weaken a little bit. That had a tornado warning with it, Dick. Okay, thank you. And Dick has been watching the storm to the north, but we are wrapped up on the storm right now as it's moving across South 4200 Road along with Highway 20. That's where Vaughn is located. Val and Marty on the south side. Vaughn, what do you have?
Yep, I think it crossed over Highway 20 right over me, Travis. It crossed Highway 20, and we had at least 80 mile an hour winds, as it came across 20. So I believe it is on the north side of 20 right now, but it's pretty close to it. I would not travel on I-20 either way.
No. Highway 20 right now is a place where if you're any place close to Highway 20, you need to be taking cover. This is wrapped up big time at this time, right across the area from, again, Marty's on the south side of that. That's East 500 Road. He's on the south side. And then Vaughn's just in the leading side of this. This is cycled and is coming around upon itself. So this is the rotating area that's rotating around. And so this is literally the wall cloud as it's moving right along and hugging Highway 20. So if you're on either side of Highway 20 right now, you need to be taking cover because a tornado or at least strong damaging winds are possible any place along this line. Vaughn, one more time. I know you're right ahead of it the way it looks. Did you get out of it?
Yep. Yeah, we did. I had 110 mile an hour gust as we were going down 20.
I had 110 gust.
So it is over 20. I think it's hugging right down 20. I don't see anything on the ground, and I'm looking back to the west now. Okay, so there's nothing on the ground, but I wouldn't consider it not on the ground because those winds were violent as we made our way east on 20. So anything in its path.
Marty's got debris. Power lines down.
Debris.
Okay.
Power lines down and debris.
Well, 110 mile an hour winds.
Couch in the ground.
Okay, and that's near the Tiowa area right now. Again, just have moved through the Tiowa area. And so, Marty, what do you have for us right now, real quick?
Well, we had a couch in the road. We had power lines down. We are continuing northbound. As soon as I get 4190, we're on 4190 northbound. Here's some more just small tree limbs right there. Now we are intercepting 485, I believe is what it says, which is looks to be a major road.
Yep.
Again,
it's Highway 20.
We're turning right on.
Here's a wall cloud right here.
Turning right, which would be back to our north. And looking for more power line flashes right now.
All right.
Seeing what we can find up here.
Okay, and
back
Vaughn.
to you guys.
All right, thanks.
You
and
see
again,
it?
Vaughn's on the leading edge of it. Vaughn, it kind of looks like it's wrapped up just on the north side of Highway 20 right now. Marty and Val have either hail core or not quite sure what's going on right there. But if you guys, Val is in the damage path of it right now. Vaughn, one quick thing. Do you see anything else right around you as you're looking around?
Yeah, there's nothing on the ground right now. It is wrapping up just to the north, maybe a half a mile at the most, north of Highway 20, right by the racetrack. That would be just
we got debris.
Just west of the racetrack.
Okay. Just west of the racetrack? Okay, you got debris. Who said that?
Strong north.
This Val, I'm seeing debris to my north. Not a huge area. There's no funnel at all. There's no condensation funnel, but I see debris. I don't know if it's leftover debris, but there's definitely debris in the air. And that is north of Highway 20, probably 3/4 of a mile or a little more, maybe.
All right. Yep, and that's just right where it went through. So again, if you're in that area, that would be exactly the path of the tornado. So you guys are in there. The cycle that it's going through right now, it looks like it might have weakened a little bit. There's still a chance that we could have a spin up just to your east, northeast for Marty and Val. The Craig County storm, by the way, is to the north, is starting to reorganize a little bit. And Dick, I'm going to have you get you've got the, I'm going to have you. Okay, you're in reposition. Okay, and I'll have us get a radar view of that. But as we're looking at what's happening right now, Marty, I see you're following. And okay, Will is over Verdigris right now, looking at some of the damage. It's hard to tell, but obviously there's fire and emergency personnel that are going to have to make sure that people are safe. This is one of those storms that did random damage that could be really bad in a few spots and then skip. It looked like it skipped some homes and it'd come back and get some others. You can see there's, it looks like power is in some areas, but we're right where the emergency vehicles are located right now. Power is out the way it looks at this time to those locations. So again, as Will gets us more pictures and finds out a little bit more about what's going on, hopefully nobody is hurt, but we need to continue again to the east. As this storm continues to track to the east, we're talking about conditions that are favorable for still redevelopment of tornadoes. This is from Vaughn, where Vaughn is located, to Marty. That's still wrapped up. It might be a little bit weaker than it was, but this is on 480 Road where it intersects with 4220 Road. So if you're in that area just south of the Will Rogers Turnpike, this is the highest probability of seeing a tornado at this particular moment. Also, we need to go over to right now, take a look and see what's going on up to the north of us with Dick. Dick, what's happening on that storm to the north?
That storm has gone through several cycles as well. There for a while it looked like it weakened quite a lot. Then it got its act a little bit better. It doesn't look terribly impressive on the radar, but it looks much more impressive on the velocity signature. So I'm tracking the location of the circulation feature, which again is on the southern edge of it. That's going to be taken on through the northern portions of Craig County, headed towards Welch at around 8:43. Blue Jacket at about 8:43 as well. Lots of heavy rain and hail on the north side of it. Circulation feature continues to kind of come and go on the south side of it. We have had a few indications of a possible tornado on the ground occasionally with it. It has obviously not been of quite the intensity of the storm further south that you've been covering, Travis. It's obviously been the dominant cell, but this one has certainly been going through several cycles, and right now it looks like it's kind of gotten its act together, at least for a short time. We'll see how it holds together for the next several minutes, Travis.
Okay, thanks, Dick. I appreciate that. And again, going back to our storm that's been producing a tornado along the whole path. It looks like it's a little bit weaker. The velocities have come down just a little bit on that. We still have a tornado warning remaining until 9 o'clock tonight. That'll be for northwestern Mays and central Rogers County. That storm now from just east of Tioga, northeast of Tioga, is moving to the east-northeast. So it started moving back northeast a little bit. It seems like once it tries to turn east, that's when it starts to rotate a little bit more. We call it a right turner. So that becomes more of a tornado event at that point. Vaughn is on that. Marty, Val, they're all under it right now. Let's go over to Vaughn to start off with. Vaughn, it looks like you're on the leading edge of it, and it looks a little bit weaker, and it's now to your north by about a mile or so. What do you have for us?
That's correct. I'm looking back to my west-northwest at a lowering here. There's nothing on the ground that I can see, Travis. But, yes, I agree. It does look like it's become a little weaker from my vantage point, but, of course, it's dark, and all we can go by is the lightning flashes right now. But I agree, Travis, there's nothing on the ground right now that I can see. Good thing, and we'll keep following it here as it moves east.
All right. I appreciate it, Vaughn. Thank you so much. Let's go on over to Val, your brother, and take a look a little bit from Val's perspective. What do you have, Val?
Okay, just ditto what Vaughn said. Don't see anything on the ground at the moment. We had another power flash about, 3 or 4 minutes ago, but I don't see any funnels at the moment. I don't see. It looks like to me it is lifted, but you know how fast these things come back. I mean, this thing can come back in a hurry. Right now, it appears that the biggest danger is going to be north of Highway 20, probably north of our location, and maybe even a little northeast of our location. So we're just kind of traveling east on our.
All right, Val, he's moving along. Obviously, you're what we're seeing.
Base in behind here, and 67 degrees. Back to you guys, because I don't see anything on the ground right now.
Okay. All right, Marty, thanks so much. Again, Marty Logan is the guy who's in northwest Oklahoma, who we were taking his shots last week with that big 500,000-acre fire that was going all over up by Alva and into southwest Kansas. So, again, Marty's kind of traveling the state right now. This is a view from Owasso right now. We continue with our tornado warning at this time to the east of Owasso, and still wrapped up. And so we still have circulation feature going on in that particular area. But we do want you to know that at least that it has weakened a little bit, but it's still wrapped up on itself. And again, it's near and closer to the circulation center now is over the Will Rogers Turnpike. So this is north of where Vaughn is and Val and Marty. So this has moved a little bit further to north. Could be recycling right now over the turnpike. So if you're around East 460 Road and around the north road of 42, I should say, that'd be 4250 Road. There is a high indication now that we could see a new circulation developing right around that area from East 460 Road and the intersection of 4250 Road, which is just right at the turnpike. And so if you're in that area, we do need you to be advised for the potential, again, for this wrapping up. So I have to tell Vaughn and Val and also Marty that they're going to have to be looking a little bit further to their north and east and get probably repositioned a little bit, as that is cycling in on itself at this particular moment in that area that's located just to the north. Again, you see that black area. This is a hail core that is just to the north. Now, there's a high probability that this is going to be moving right along this leading edge. It is into cooler air. There is a chance that this could weaken, but our tornado warning continues to show up with a lot of potential, as we're starting to see that a lot of problems with power outages being reported now, houses having been hit in the southern Claremore area, southeast of Claremore, and we do feel that there's going to be a lot of homes, a lot of outbuildings that have been hit from this. It's just been on the ground way too long. They are starting to weaken just a little bit. That's also National Weather Service also mentioning that as well. There is an area, though, that still runs from about Coffeyville Fayetteville down into Mays and Rogers County that still has severe weather potential. So if you are in these areas, we do need you to still be prepared to move to places of safety. The tornado warning, which has been in effect for this entire area, continues for this zone. So if you are in an area that runs from right along the I-44 area, this is going to be just to the northwest of Claremore and to the southwest of Adair. That tornado warning continues in effect until 9:30, but the main circulation feature right now almost at the intersection of 40 to 50 North Road and where it intersects with East 450 Road, and that's right near the Will Rogers Turnpike. So the circulation feature is still there, and still a probability that we could have a tornado come out of that at any time. So that's why we need you to still be very much aware. That's why the tornado warning continues in effect for this same area, as it looks like we're going to continue to have some issues out of that. Dick's been watching the storm to the north, up around the Hollow and Welch area. Dick, I'm going to have you do a quick update on that while we have a small break here on the storm that's to the east.
Yeah, that storm is still showing a fairly strong circulation, Travis, so that it continues to be a concern. Now, again, we've not had any confirmation of anything actually on the ground, and it has gone through several cycles, it would appear. Right now, it's just to the west of the Welch area. It should be moving in on Welch over about the next 15 to 20 minutes, as you can see. Moving to the northern portions there of Craig County, basically highway, and then possibly into the Highway 59 area as it moves through those particular locations. So that particular storm continues to show evidence of a pretty strong circulation feature. There I'm showing you the velocities on that just to give you a quick idea of what we're looking at there. So that particular storm, again, moving east-northeast at about 30 miles. And it weakened there for a while, then it got its act together, then it seems to be going through several cycles right now, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that to kind of reposition everything here. And you can again see the Welch area at around 8:44, current time is 8:26. So again, moving through the northern portions of Craig County for that storm up in that area, which continues to have a tornado warning. Travis?
All right, thanks, Dick. There's a little bit weaker and kind of better news in the sense that new velocities of right time so we're much with that. Even a little bit further to the north. This would take it right up to the Will Rogers Turnpike. We still have this area dominated by circulation. A possibility of still a tornado exists right in this zone. I'm going to zoom in on that quickly. The Craig County tornado warning, Dick's just telling me, is canceled right now. So if you're in Craig County, that tornado warning has been canceled. It has weakened and gone below severe limits. We still have a rotating area. It's a small rotating area that's on from 460 Road North. And then that extends as all these numbers get smaller. As you get older, you don't like that. But that extends then from just about East 450 Road to East 460 Road. And then that goes all the way to the east, and that goes along right around 429 Road to the east. So again, if you're in this zone, there's still a possibility, if you're in this rural area just to the east of the Turnpike, that there is a chance that you could still get a tornado. Oh, to recap, what will fall down 10 They're going to be taking over here as the storms start to die down, but they'll have more information on how many injuries might have occurred. So far, we haven't heard of any, at least in the weather desk. We'll have news coming up here in just a little bit with some information. But overall, there's still the potential for a tornado if you are east of Tiowa, which is east of Claremore. And we're still going to be watching this very closely because that's still in an area which, again, we had tornadoes going on as we had with live Osage Sky News 6 going on for a while. Again, the tornadoes were touching down just almost nonstop as it went just on the south side of Owasso along 56th Street. So 9 people have been transported to area hospitals at the time. that that continues to be in a zone where there is still a tornado warning, and the extension of the tornado warning is for good cause, because we still have it rotating in upon itself right now. This has been a supercellular structure that has gone on the entire time, and so right at the apex of this is where we're most concerned at this time as it continues to move. We're getting updates within every hour, or within every minute, I should say. We have our live Pathfinder feeding into this, and this is around 430 East Road, and then on the south side about 450 Road, and all the way to the east, which would away from outside windows and walls, just to be on the safe side. There are probably some strong damaging winds of still 50, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour that are gusting out in this particular zone that's on the south side. So you could power outage. Just don't get it all. Phone, you can up on your on that easy, and I do so do that. Warning still is continuing in effect for some of these areas. Again, this is the main storm that we're concerned with. I've been zoomed in on this. With gusty winds with that. Pascal is on one of the cells also, who has been, he was on a storm that we had tornado warnings in northern Osage County, northern Washington County. This cell, into colder air, and that should pretty much knock it out to where we should be in better shape. We are expecting to continue to cover this storm for a while, and we that storm to the north as well. I'm going to do one quick update here, and Dick, I'm going to give it to you then so you can cover that storm to the north a little bit more. We have Vaughn, Val, Marty, all on that side. This line. Circulation feature is still the strongest, located on East 430 Road, where it intersects right now with 4220. Then I'll come in a little bit closer, so the circulation is still showing up there. And Dick, I'm going to have you look at that north storm, if you would, for a minute, and I'm going to get a little bit of water. Yeah, okay, we'll do, Travis. I want to point out, by the way, there's a couple of north storms up there. We've kind of ignored the one back to the west because that has not been the one that has been tornadic. However, it is severe, with likely causing some hail there in the northern part of NOWATA County, between NOWATA and Coffeyville. The storm that has had tornado warnings associated with it, and we've had some reports of some brief touchdowns. It's still showing a weak circulation feature there on the southern side of it. It has been weakening, though, and has been losing some of its organization. Right now, as you can see, it is just to the north
northwest of Welch. It'll be heading on up into adjacent areas of Kansas as it moves to the northeast. So you folks up in there need to be aware of that one. In the meantime, this is a fairly large area of storms that stretches from, again, northeast of Bartlesville, north of NOWATA, just east of Coffeyville, and on up into adjacent areas of Kansas. That is all moving towards the east-northeast also, likely causing some hail along the entire length of that and the potential for some damaging winds. Let me show you just real quickly the hail cores that we are seeing there. We're also seeing some strong wind shear with this storm right here. I'll take a little closer look at that one in just a moment. But again, the cell that has been tornadic, or at least we've had tornado warnings on it, has weakened to a certain extent for you folks there in the northern portion of Mays County. So, okay, tornado warning, okay, all right. Now we're going to, let me take a little closer look at some of this activity. We'll zoom in on the storm that has been located there in the northern part of Craig County. I'll get my names out here in a minute. You can see the areas that are being impacted by it, Rogers and Banzette. Again, it looks like it'll move to just to the southeast of Chautauqua on up into adjacent areas of Kansas. Again, that storm quite likely having at least some hail associated with it. So that's one they'll be keeping a close eye on. There is a severe thunderstorm warning associated with the activity again further to the west. Let me zoom out just a little bit and we'll take a little closer look at that activity. And that particular cell again is moving also mainly eastward at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Quite likely has some hail associated with it. Bring in the hail indicator real quick so you can see again the potential for some hail there just on the south side of Coffeyville and also just east of Dewey. Now what we're also seeing here, and this is a concern, is a lot of wind shear along that leading flank there. That is a cause for concern, quite possibly some damaging winds associated with this leading edge here. Notice it's a very, very tight gradient. The radar is basically looking right along that, and so as it is seeing those that very tight gradient right there of the reflectivity, it is also interpreting that as very, very strong winds. But as we take a look at the wind field, we do see that there are some strong winds associated with that, so we'll have to keep a close eye on the potential for that to potentially spin up a little bit, because the way things have been going so far this evening, Travis, cannot rule out that that wouldn't come up, reach a tornado and become a tornado warning storm as well. So several storms along the Oklahoma-Kansas border that we're concerned about. One has moved east of the Coffeyville, South Coffeyville area, moving in on Lenapaw as we speak. This will again be moving on towards the northeast over the northern portions of Craig County. The one further east is still a concern because it is still has evidence of a circulation feature associated with it. And again, that's over the far northern portions of Craig County. It'll be moving on up in this direction. Right now, it is not a warned storm, but nonetheless, it could very well cause some problems with damaging winds and quite possibly some hail. Travis, you get something to drink?
I did. Good, and I had a little Hershey's chocolate thing to go with it, so I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad. We'll find out. Anyway, looking at the storm again, that's right around the Pryor area. So far, the guys are reporting that we're still okay. That is a tornado warning that is in effect for your area as that continues north of Pryor near Adair, and that's where our guys located at this time. We have a bunch of them kind of in that same spot. And if I have have Marty and Vaughn both there, and Val's just behind it. Vaughn, I'm going to start with you. What do you see? What do you got?
Okay, Travis. Yeah, we're north of Pryor, probably. I can barely hear Vaughn talk. Looking to the northeast, to the northwest. There's not anything on the ground. There is a little bit of a lowering, what appears to be maybe a little bit of a lowering, but nothing that I can tell that's on the ground right now, Travis. So we're here in a little construction area off the road, and we're going to watch it as it crosses over Highway 69 here, Travis. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, and right now it seems, just looking at some of our velocities that we look at on our Doppler radar, it's a very just not good formation, I guess, so that's good news. We do have some strong winds. Looks like they should be about 40, 50 miles per hour that you could get blasted with here in a little bit. Marty's just a little bit further north of you. Marty, if you're with me, you're just about a mile north of him. What do you have?
Right now, just, nothing spectacular. We're starting to get some big raindrops. May have some hail here in just a little bit. I've slowed down a considerable amount. Coming up on the road right now. Let me get to this road and tell you exactly where we are at. We stopped seeing our power line flashes. Good news. Okay, we are on west 430. West 430 is where I'm at right now. And I'm looking back to the northeast of this thing. And like I said earlier, it's getting more difficult, of course, because it's dark. Only thing you can do is look for power line flashes or it lighting up whenever the lightning hits. And that's another thing. The lightning has been tremendous. That's going to tear some stuff up also. So Vaughn, Val, and myself are going to keep going with this. We're going to slow down right now and just get our bearings straight. Not seeing any flashes or anything like that. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Marty. Appreciate it. Again, Marty's right at the intersection, as I said, 430 Road and Highway 169 or Highway 69, and Vaughn's just to his south. Now, the circulation apex is pretty much Strang Road, just a hair to his north. And he's right in the cusp of where, if anything's going to happen, should be happening in his zone at this time. Again, Doppler is indicating on their velocities that it has weakened considerably. It's still a strong storm, but it's not, and Dick Farrow's also pointing finger down, that it has weakened considerably as it continues to move to the east. So just 8 areas getting hit right now with heavy rain, a thunderstorm over you guys right now. And the good news is, with it being weaker, the circulation also being weaker, that has helped us out tremendously as it's moved into this cooler air. But it's still strong enough, and it's still a supercylinder structure, so we're still going to continue to watch that as it continues to move to the east. The highest probability of wind damage would be from about 440 Road. That would extend on up into Adair. So any place along this zone would be the highest probability of picking up some strong winds. That includes from around the Strang Road, and then it goes back on down to the south to about 460 Road. And so we're looking at it the weakest. This is probably the weakest part of the circulation signature that we've seen as far as with the supercell since it first formed. And so that is really, really good news. But you could still get some wind damage and some 40, 50 mile per hour winds associated with that. And Marty should be getting close. We have his picture up there in the lower left hand. He should be about ready to get hit with some strong winds or some heavy rain, as that's just right on 69 right now. In fact, we're going to go down into that zone so you can see he's right on the verge of catching that on 430 Road with 69. And that is probably the highest probability there to Strang Road, with the potential for some wind damage. But I do believe at this time, and especially with Dick Farrow's blessing and looking at it, so I'm hoping that you're not leading me wrong there, because I agree with you on this, that we can finally feel a little bit better about this storm, because this has been a rough storm. To the northeast, from Pensacola to the dam over Grand Lake, we do have a heavy thunderstorm, but that is not severe. So the tornado warning still in effect. That'll be going until 9 o'clock tonight for this particular cell. And you see Val and Vaughn are both kind of on the south side of it, just getting hit with that right now. Vaughn, I don't know if you can hear me. Are you just getting into that right now? Should be hitting you. Do you get any winds or not?
Not really, Travis. I would be expecting to get some pretty strong RFD winds right here where I am, but I'm not really. I mean, I'm getting some strong winds, but they're not near as strong as what we have been through tonight. And I continue to look north at it. I know Marty passed me just a little bit ago, and he's north of me. But from this vantage point, I'm not getting any rain. But there is nothing that it looks threatening at this vantage point. Travis, back to you.
All right, and there is still a broad circulation right on top of you guys, and that extends just to your northeast. From right where you are, and that goes right on up northeast. So it hasn't quite finished its thing yet. So it's still hanging in there. But again, the good news is it has weakened considerably. Not to say it won't cycle back up on us at this particular moment. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for northeastern NOWATA County and northern Craig County till 9:15. That has been extended. Dick, if you would, I'd like for you to just take a quick look at that, and then I'm going to come back to this tornado warning. And then when we get a moment, we're going to go over to the news desk to get an update on the damage reports, because apparently we have a lot of that coming in now. There was a report that we're down to 5,500 customers without power in the Tulsa area, so that's good news from the original count, which was just, I think, a little bit under 10,000 people, or customers. You can't say people because it's customers, which could include a whole families. And we're talking about 166 customers without power now in Rogers County, 166 customers without power in Rogers County. So that's kind of good news. because it's not as much, which means the damage might not be quite as severe. Still, though, with the circulation ongoing on this storm, it's not over with. That's why the tornado warning is continuing. So if you are in and around Adair, south side of Adair, and anywhere from we'll say east 440, we'll go pretty much 450 road and then extend all the way north to about 410 road, and anywhere from right on Highway 69 to the east. We do see it kind of wrapping up just a little bit again to the east of Marty and Vaughn. And so there is a little picking up, a little uptick on that, and that goes right along Road 420 is probably right at the apex of that, which would be right in here along Strang Road. Which is 420 road, and then where that intersects with 4350 road. So if you're in that area just southeast of Adair, there's still a circulation feature going on there. What that is going on. Let's go to Dick with that new severe thunderstorm warning. Dick, what do you have?
Yeah, for the folks off to the north of us, up there along the Oklahoma-Kansas state line, again, we're watching kind of a loosely organized line of storms that stretches from Kansas through the Edna area, east of Coffeyville, down to just north of NOWATA, that'd be northeast of Bartlesville, and just to the east of Copan. This particular part of the storm has very strong winds associated with it. We're seeing a lot of shear right in this immediate area. It is moving pretty much due eastward. So a severe thunderstorm warning has been extended there for the northern portions of Craig County as that storm moves on that northern portion of NOWATA County into the northern portions of Craig County. Notice we also have a severe thunderstorm warning on up in adjacent areas of Kansas. Is this particular cell, which was the one that did have a tornado warning associated with it. It is not as well organized at this time, but it's moving on up into adjacent areas of Kansas as well. And in fact, it looks like we may have a merger take place on up in there, which could cause some real problems for those folks on up at that way. Let me show you real quickly the other potential for these particular cells, and that is the potential for some hail with this activity. And again, the storms still have some hail cores associated with them. That one there moving in on Chatopa does, also on up into adjacent areas of Kansas, just southeast of Coffeyville. And also have a concern that we continue to see this shear signature right along this leading edge of that heavier activity as it moves northeast of NOWATA. And that is going to be something we'll just be watching carefully, just in case something should get a little better organized there. No evidence of that at this point in time, but there could very well be some damaging winds with that as it moves on across the northern portions of NOWATA and into Craig counties, and the northeastern corner of NOWATA and into Craig counties, I should say, and also the possibility for some hail associated with that as well. So these storms further to the north are also causing trouble. Bottom line is there's nothing at this point that would suggest anything tornadic up there. Severe certainly with respect to hail and damaging winds, and a lot of lightning as well, as you can see with this activity also. So that's an area of concern that we'll be watching closely. Travis?
Okay, thanks. And one more quick update on the tornado warning, and then we're going to get to some damage reports. Here's a look, one more update. We do have, again, tornado warning still in effect till 9 o'clock. Marty and Val and Vaughn continue to hang on this storm. This is still rotating. This is still enough that we could get a small spin up. If you are in areas southeast of Adair County, or southeast of Adair, the community, this would be from 410 Road, and then that extends down to about 430 Road, and it extends around 4370 Road. So at those intersections right in here, that's still a circulation feature that we're concerned with that could still potentially get a little bit stronger and produce a possible tornado. So that's not quite finished yet. And we have all the guys that are looking at that right now. So we're going to continue to monitor that. We also have a lot of damage reports coming in from news. So let's go to Scott and Megan with an update on that. Scott, Megan?
Thank you, Travis, and stick with us as we update you on this. When this storm rolled through North Tulsa about an hour and a half ago, 45th Street and 47th Street at Hartford was a hard-hit area. And Annie Chang is up there tonight to tell us what she's seeing. Annie?
That's right, Scott. Here's one example of that damage right here. This is a small commercial trailer, and the winds just literally picked it up, slammed it against this tree. Like I said, this is one small example. This is a very dangerous situation out here right now. Power lines are scattered all over the place. We don't know if they're live or not. Now, Ethan, if you can just pan this way, I want to show you guys all the commotion down here, down the street on 46. EMSA tells us they've responded to 9 cases of injured people. So like I said, this is a very urgent situation. Authorities asking people to steer steer clear of wires that could be live. Several people tell me the roofs of their houses blew completely off. The church that they go to right here on this corner is very damaged. It's nearly devastated. Many people say they are members here. They're devastated to see it this way. AEP is on the scene. They did get here early on in the evening, so they'll start taking care of the most dangerous areas first. For now, reporting live in North Tulsa, I'm Annie Chang. Back to you.
Annie, so you are seeing building damage there?
That's right, quite a bit. We see structures as well as a few homes have major damage. A lot of just minor roof damage to a large portion of these homes in these neighborhoods.
Okay, thank you, Annie.
Thank you. And what makes these storms so difficult, too, is, a lot of them came through after it got dark, and so it makes that all that more difficult for emergency crews to get in and figure out exactly what's going on. But we did have Craig Day live in Owasso, I believe. Craig, this is your area of town. You live in Owasso. I believe you are in the Stone Canyon neighborhood right now. We're going to go to you. Tell us what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, there's some significant damage, Megan and Scott, here in the Stone Canyon neighborhood. That's about a mile from where I live, so hopefully my neighborhood is in pretty good shape. But right now there's some significant damage in Stone Canyon. Take a look back behind me. This part of the roof is gone from this home. Now, we've seen some roof damage to some homes in this area, as well as the roof of some homes that are under construction. This is a booming neighborhood. Several homes are under construction. We've seen some trees down and some vehicle damage as well. Folks here are just very, very thankful that, at least that we know of at this point, no one was seriously hurt. Michael Ellis home, he and 5 other family members were inside the home when that tornado hit. He said it just shook the house violently. Thankfully, all of them, including a 1.5-year-old, got inside their safe room in their garage, shut the door, and they rode out the storm. But they've got significant damage to their house, both some roof damage on the front of the home. There's roof damage to the back of the home. Of course, trees down. A windshield is broken on one of their vehicles, and they say, of course, they have glass all over the inside of the home. Megan, Scott?
All right, Craig, thank you. And we'll just follow this storm as it moved to the east. Allison Harris is in Verdigris, where it hit next after it went through Owasso. Allison, what can you tell us?
Well, Scott, the good news here is there are no injuries reported. In fact, we're seeing relatively minor damage compared to what we're seeing in some other areas. Here, we're hearing about roofs that have been damaged, fences that are down trees, and it's affecting just a couple neighborhoods that are close by. We're just north of 266 in Verdigris. I'll show you behind me. These are just neighbors coming out and talking to each other, comforting each other. I heard someone ask a firefighter to check on an elderly woman who they thought had been in her storm shelter. From all accounts, we've heard that she is okay. You can see there's a tree down here. Earlier we watched firefighters cut through a big tree that fell right on the road here. They had to saw into it and to access this area over here. But again, good news for Verdigris. No injuries here and minor damage that crews are already starting to pick up.
Allison, thank you. In Verdigris tonight, always good to hear that there's no injuries. And the damage will, of course, identify itself as the daylight comes. There'll be more that we see when the daylight comes tomorrow morning.
And this storm just, everybody's really now just starting to come out of their homes and kind of assess everything that's going on. But we have been told that the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management has been dispatched to the Tulsa and Owasso area just to see exactly what's going on. And we do also hear that we have Charlie Hanema in North Tulsa. We have him live now. We've got crews all over the area now. So, Charlie, tell us what you're seeing out there.
Megan, it's very dark up here. We're at 46th Street North. This is the Bethel Seventh-day Adventist Church, and serious roof damage behind me here. There was about 7 folks inside here. It was Wednesday night. It's church night, so midweek prayer service was going on. Everybody's okay here, no injuries, but roof has heavy damage. The carpet, some of the seats were damaged by the rain. The pastor tells me that insurance should cover most of this, so they're okay about that part. But power's out in the whole neighborhood. The quick trip on the way over here is dark right now. About 46th and Trenton, we saw 4 power poles just bent over towards the north side. So that's probably a big reason why it's so dark around here. This church actually just got done remodeling last summer. About a $300,000 remodel got finished, and they're going to have to start over on a lot of that. But the big story here, no injuries. A lot of people lucky to be alive. This church is thinking about maybe going to its Muskogee branch for services on Sunday. Still trying to figure that out. Live in North Tulsa, Charlie Hanneman, News on 6.
Thank you, Charlie. And we are told the police are asking you to stop driving around in these neighborhoods. There's nothing to see there. They need to get it cleaned up and see what they're facing. So stay home, keep out of those neighborhoods, and keep the traffic down.
Yep, and we've got crews out there, again, a number of them in all parts of this area as this storm just jumped from, town to town, and we're getting all the damage reports now. And again, emergency management teams are being dispatched. So we will have all the latest as our reporters keep us posted from out in the field and here on News on 6 and on our website, newson6.com.
And we will simulcast. We have a newscast coming up at 9 o'clock over on the Tulsa CW, and I believe we're going to do it here on Channel 6 as well as we catch up with this. We've got crews in other parts. We especially want to hear from Emery Bryan. He's in Claremore. He's still gathering some information for us, so we'll get with him. We'll get back with these other folks who you have seen tonight. But again, 9 injuries in North Tulsa between 45th and 47th Streets North and Hartford. That's where Annie Chang was, where some of the church was damaged. And as she said, she was seeing a lot of damage to roofs, things like that, power lines. So we'll catch up with all of our crews as they're gathering all this information as well. And I guess now we want to pitch it back over to Travis. Travis, do you have any updates for us?
Yes, we do. And we're talking about still some active weather going on across the area. Shower and thunderstorm activity. Still have that tornado warning in effect, and that's going to be in effect still until 9 o'clock. So we still have another 6 minutes on that. We've just been talking to some of the guys with what's been going on. We still have them positioned right at the tornado warning area, and that's where we have found the strongest thunderstorms still hanging in there. And as I take a look at some of the activity with that, and hang on one second, I'll get the all the data on there. We're looking at the most of the activity as it's moved to the east now is where Vaughn is located. And I'm going to talk to Vaughn in just a second. He is just near the Strang area, and that's still where we have strongest winds associated with the thunderstorm that is in that area. And in fact, Vaughn, are you still online? Vaughn, you there?
Yes, Travis,
okay,
I am.
Sorry. I know you had it on mute there for a second. I know you're moving into Strang right now, and you followed that. This is still the circulation feature of the tornadic cell that went across the Tulsa County area and into Rogers County. What do you have for us? Anything going on with that?
No, Travis, it really looks like it's decreased. Even though on radar it still looks kind of impressive, it doesn't look impressive from the ground. With the inflow winds, which should be right next to them, there's nothing to speak of right now. So no kind of lowering that I can see. That the lightning has decreased where I am quite significantly. So we're going to stay here. We're going to follow it all the way to Strang, and if we have anything else to update, I'll holler in at you.
All right, Vaughn, thanks. Dick has put in a storm track here. I'm looking at that, and I see we still have Strang, Pensacola, Langley going on there, Dick. And that cell itself looks like it's weakened considerably. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's much smaller. It obviously is not near the intensity of what it was. And no indication of any hail with it, so it looks like it's on the downswing for sure.
All right, and they did we're going to, the National Weather Service decided to continue that tornado warning till 9:30. You just saw that happen there. I'm going to put that, let's see if we can put that up. And if we could, let's go back to that just for a second, because I was just looking at the data, and so we've just got the National Weather Service wanting to make sure that will not try to tornado again or surprise folks. So,
caution, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of caution sitting right there.
And a good thing to do.
Yes, and if you're around the Strang area, Vaughn's there. Again, it's weakened considerably, but this should get it far enough into the colder air that it should totally just KO it, and that should be over at that point. So that'll take it in the storm track, as Dick was talking about. I'm going to go back to that just for a second, Dick. And this was the original tornado warning right here, this polygon. That is since gone. So the new polygon has just been issued, is for this particular zone. But what we're focusing on is mainly just the tornado itself, as far as where the highest probability of at least some shearing winds. So that would be Strang, Pensacola, Langley, Disney, Grand Lake, and then to Tijuana, and then to Cleola. So you have a choice there as far as when you're looking at the storm. I'm going to zoom back in on that, and you can tell that the probably a bit of a hail core is right around the Pensacola area. At this time, Vaughn's just right there. And again, he just reported a little bit ago it has weakened considerably, and I really think we're in pretty good shape as far as that cell is concerned. Ones to the north have been a little bit stronger recently, while this is getting weaker and coming over Grand Lake. And I don't think anybody from around the Pensacola area to Langley to Disney and around Grand Lake and Ketchum was going to be too upset. We've had our fair share of tornadoes up and around you guys over the last several years, so pretty happy that this is weakening at this particular time. We're always glad when there's no tornadoes, but just needless to say that the storm itself is still very intense, still powerful, still a severe thunderstorm because it is a tornado warning, so there is hail and wind potential. On the north side of that, not quite as much, but we do have additional thunderstorms. And Dick, I'm going to have you just go back up there for 1 minute here because I know we're just close to coming in on newscast time. You guys got any information on when we're going to hit our news? But I'm going to have Dick just do a quick update, if you would, on that. Oh, just 1 minute? Okay, well, we'll wait until the newscast starts then before we do that, because we do have additional showers and thunderstorms still going on to the north. And we still have that line back into NOWATA where we already had heavy rain, and we had some flooding rain with some of that Pascal saw. There is nothing back to the south and west, but we're still sitting at balmy 76 degrees at this time, and so it's not through yet. We still have a cold front that has to come through. So a lot of different things going on, but we still continue with that tornado warning to the east. That's going to be in far northeastern portions of Rogers County, and then also into extreme west central portions of Delaware County, and that'll be the zone which we're going to continue to monitor. Even though it is weakened considerably, National Weather Service wants to make sure, just to be on the safe side, nothing gets carried away, almost literally. But Pensacola, you have a little bit of hail or dime size, so that's the way it looks right now. So we're talking about conditions that are still favorable for a few more storms. We'll have more of that information coming up in just a little bit, so stay with us. We'll keep you advised.
And welcome to News on 6, continuing coverage of tonight's breaking news and severe weather. We saw some powerful images from our Osage Sky News 6 HD as this tornadic storm moved across Tulsa tonight, Owasso, Claremore, and Verdigris.
Wow, from the air, flashes of light lit the way as tornadoes snapped power lines, as you can see here in their path. We will have much more video from our chopper, Osage Sky News 6. Plus, we have live crews across the area, a number of reporters checking in on damage, and they will have live reports for us. So thank you for being here tonight.
We are simulcasting News on 6 at 9 on Tulsa CW and KOTV Channel 6. And we begin with our Oklahoma weather experts who have been tracking this since the end of our 6:30 news tonight. Travis?
Yeah, things got a little carried away. They're literally about 6:30, and we went into a tornado warnings, and that's where we still have one more tornado warning. So if you're joining us now, we've had a severe thunderstorm watch that has been in effect for a long time. What's so weird about it is the fact that that storm, as it started to develop and move to the east, was first a tornado warning up to the north, and now we still have heavy rain and showers and thunderstorms in a few of those areas up to the north. It's continuing to strengthen. We're talking about the only tornado warning is the one that's in extreme northeastern portions of Rogers County and western portions of Delaware County. This storm is capable of still producing some small hail. The tornado warning was issued basically just to be safe, and it has weakened considerably. Dick Farrow and I have been looking at this, and as it has continued to move to the east, its structure has almost totally fallen apart as far as it still has some structure in terms of a thunderstorm complex or a supercell, but that is weakening dramatically at this particular moment. And the only other thunderstorms of really note, and that's where Pascal is located still, watching these cells with heavy rain and some severe weather associated with them. We're also seeing an uptick in the weather from near NOWATA to Delaware to just southeast of Lenapaw. Those could contain some small hail as well. So still active weather tonight. We still have a cold front that has to come through as we work our way through tonight, and we're going to be detailing all that information in a little bit. But the storm track itself, just to give you an idea, the storm started to form just around the Manford-Cleveland area. Then it moved through southeastern portions of Osage County, and then moved near Turley to Owasso to Claremore, and then started to slowly move just north of Pryor, and then moved on up to around Spavinaw, and that has left a trail of destruction. In fact, our news teams have been following that and have more information. So guys, we'll have more information on the forecast, and hopefully it's going to change a little bit. That'll be all coming up in a little bit. Back to you.
Okay, we'll see you throughout the evening. Thank you, Travis.
Indeed. As we mentioned, we have a lot of reporters out on the scene. We are going to head first out live to News on 6 anchor Craig Day, who is in the Stone Canyon neighborhood. And Craig, we spoke to you earlier, a lot of new construction out there, and you are with one family that had quite the experience tonight.
Yeah, there are two neighborhoods actually, Megan and Scott, that were hit. Stone Canyon and Ridgeview Estates. They're right next to each other, so we're just a backyard away from Stone Canyon. It's off of 76th Street North. The tornado came through earlier this evening. In fact, the folks I talked to tonight, they found this street sign in their yard. Well, this came from about a mile away, so it was picked up in a totally different neighborhood and dropped in their yard. And you can see some of the damage caused to one of their cars that was out in their driveway tonight. The family is counting their blessings despite all of the damage, because it was incredibly powerful and incredibly scary for them. 6 people were inside the home when the tornado hit, and it caused quite a bit of roof damage to their home. Michael Ellis joins me right now. And Michael, what was it like when that tornado hit?
It was kind of surreal, you know. I mean, it's always been somebody else. You know, watching them here in Oklahoma since we've been here, it's always been somebody else. And, you know, when I saw the debris coming across the street, it twisting up and going, it was time to go. So everybody was already in there, and I come in and slammed the door, and you could hear the roof rattling, and I was hoping it was maybe hail, you know, coming down, but no, it was the roof leaving. And you come back outside 5 minutes later, and it's like a different world, you know. I mean, just first thing I see is my wife's windshield's busted, and the next thing I see shingles in the yard, and I'm hoping it's somebody else's, not mine.
It wasn't. You have some significant roof damage. I mean, tell me all the level of damage to your home. Some to the front, some to the back.
Yeah, it's on all 4 sides. It's the roof is probably, I think the roof will probably the whole roof will have to be replaced, I believe. And the inside in the office area there, you can see the ceiling sheetrock was being lifted away from the crown molding. So, you know, we were even blessed that it did this and didn't do more, because it probably didn't even touch all the way down.
You were telling me earlier you're blessed that you all made it to your storm shelter, your above-ground safe room that you have in your garage. I mean, you rushed to that and shut that door, didn't you?
Yeah. They knew that when I came running in there and slammed the door behind me, they knew it was that time, you know. And I saw everybody's look on their face. I said, it's that. And like I said, we heard the shaking, or felt the shaking, and heard.
Well, we apologize for that. We'll get back to that interview with Craig, or we'll get back to Craig and hear from him later in the newscast. Now, the storm moved east from Owasso, went on to Verdigris, and that's where Allison Harris is tonight with an update on things there. Allison?
Scott, luckily here in Verdigris, there are no injuries reported. However, there is damage here, minor damage. We've seen downed trees. We've seen fences toppled over. We've seen roofs that are damaged. We've seen barns that are damaged. And I'm joined now by James and Amber Heisterberg. You guys say this got pretty serious quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, what did you hear?
I came home and I was back at the house. We immediately drove over to my parents' house down the road, and I could see over by Stone Canyon. I literally watched the funnel come straight east, and that's when I said we need to take cover. So we went and took cover, and then immediately as it passed over, I went outside and then saw it reform right down here in McGuire, and that's when I realized, you know, we should probably come out. That's when I zipped in my car and came up here to make sure everyone was okay. So.
I was going to say, you're a paramedic, and I saw you checking on everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived down this road my whole life, so I care for everyone down here anyways, but, you know, I have medical training, so if I could if I could help anyone, I would be more than happy to, but everyone was okay, so that's the important part.
And you guys also have a little one on the way. Yes. Pretty scary moments, taking cover.
It's usually living in Broken Arrow your whole life, or Oklahoma your whole life, you just expect this kind of stuff. But then when you bring a child into the world, you're like, oh no, I have to actually take cover now.
Well, you did, and you did a good job, and you checked on everyone else. Yes. Thank you for doing that here. Again, Scott, no reports of injuries here in Verdigris. Neighbors now coming together and comforting each other.
So often happens, Allison, at this time of year. Thank you very much from Verdigris tonight.
All right, and now we have News on 6 reporter Annie Chang, who is live in North Tulsa. Annie, we checked in with you a bit ago. You mentioned a number of damaged buildings, crews on the scene. So what's the update now?
That's right, Megan. Last we talked, EMSA had responded to 9 people who were injured in this neighborhood. There's a lot of damage here around here, and you can see it's drawn quite a commotion. A lot of kids are kind of flocking to our camera, so they want to tell us what they've seen. I'm here with Tony and Ladarion. So, guys, tell me what you saw.
I saw skylines falling in the street, and I saw like a tornado spinning in the air, and it came up and came down. And by Tasty Freeze, the car washers broke down, and all trees fell in the houses, and a roof down the street from my cousin's house. Roof half came off in the church down there.
That church. So lots of trees and on roofs, and it damaged the houses. Were you guys scared at all?
No.
Not at all?
No.
How close did the storms look to your house?
Like, I don't know.
Was it pretty scary, though, to see?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to keep you updated. There's lots of damage and lots more to cover, so check back in with you in a little bit.
Is all the power out there, Annie? Is it all dark?
It's very dark. AEP is on the scene, so they're checking on some live wires in the area. But as far as we know, a lot of people here do not have electricity.
Okay, thanks for those junior eyewitnesses there. Thank you for us.
They weren't scared either.
No, and tell them to be safe and watch out for wires. Now, Charlie Hannah was also up in that neck of the woods, I believe 46th Street and Peoria. Charlie, is that right?
That's right, Scott. This is the Generation of Destiny Community Center. If you know the area, we're just south of McLean High School. Just heavy damage to this building here. A lot of side windows blown out. Just a little bit of everything is a mess here. One traffic update. Tulsa police have closed down 46th Street North between Hartford and Lewis. They're concerned about power lines in the road. ONG crews are here at this community center, worried about gas, trying to get that shut off. We're right just to the west of the Bethel Seventh-day Adventist Church. That also has severe damage. And just a minute ago, we talked to Pastor Malcolm Phipps there about what he saw.
The roof started coming off. So we went out into the foyer, and there's an alcove there, all cinder blocks, so we went in there.
We were able to talk to a couple people out here. We just kind of moved over here trying to get the scene here, but we're told the community center was closed down once they heard a tornado was coming, so nobody was actually in the building when the storm hit, which is a good thing. We'll try and get more information, and we'll have it for you in a little bit. In North Tulsa, Charlie Hannema, News on 6.
And Charlie, you were saying they just remodeled their church up there.
Yeah, the church that's just to the east of us, they just finished remodeling last summer. It was like a $300,000 remodel. They did it kind of in phases, but it was all done. It was new. Pastor's not worried about that, says the church has great insurance. It's actually through the denomination, so he's not worried about any issues there. It's just going to take some time to get everything back together that they worked so hard on.
Sure. That's what insurance is for. Good that they have it.
Absolutely. And we now have Osage Sky News 6 HD pilot Will Cavanaugh. And what's so interesting to us is, you know, you were up in the air. We were seeing these storms forming, but now we're getting these close looks on the ground of damage. But so tell us a little bit about, you know, your firsthand experience up there tonight, what it was like.
Well, you know, first when I was over at Keystone, I really didn't think much of it. It was kind of dissipating. It started to fall apart, and I really didn't think it was going to produce any real activity. And then as I got closer to Tulsa, right around that 46th Street, we see it get into the north side of Tulsa. All of a sudden, we started seeing those power flashes on Peoria and 46th Street, and so we knew something was on the ground there, causing those arcs on the wires. And as we followed it through to the east there, it stayed perfectly between 46th Street and 56th Street. And I was telling someone, if you look back when I was at Claremore, looking back to the west, it stayed right there in between that half mile to the south or to the north. We would have been in some heavy residential areas, either north Tulsa or into Tulsa itself. Now, as it was moving, it stayed weak. It kind of skipped through the terrain as we went eastbound. You know, it was hard to pick up, especially in the diminishing daylight. And you could see some weak tornado activity, but on the ground, you could see a lot of debris, and that's how we're able to track a lot of it, not only for the funnel cloud itself, but the debris pattern on the ground. Now, for the first part, as we approached 169, it stayed largely in the commercial areas, you know, the Tulsa Gun Club and all that. But once it passed 169, we started getting more residential. We could see Stone Canyon and the debris pattern there. Just went north of the Port of Catoosa, as you see that. And again, glad to hear so far no injuries there, but and hopefully everybody was able to get into their safe spot. But
and that's the Stone Canyon neighborhood.
That is the Stone Canyon neighborhood right there, and you can start seeing the debris, the roofs, outbuildings and such like that, trees. And we saw that pretty much from Peoria all the way east as it was making that debris pattern without buildings or in the commercial areas. But this is the first residential area it hit since Peoria and 46th Street, moving just north of the Port of Catoosa. Again, within a half mile of the airport and the Port of Catoosa. So some very big areas that it just missed. Even a weak tornado would have caused a lot of damage in those commercial areas. And one of the surprising things as we moved out to the east out here in Claremore, I-44 wasn't shut down. As it crossed I-44 on the ground, lucky that no one was injured out there. No vehicles were going through at that time. But again, I-44 was not shut down. So traffic was moving up and down that highway blindly to that tornado. And again, just lucky that we had no injuries there. And you can see we just kind of backlit it there. It's hard to see it in the dark, but we try to get it up against the setting sun. Yeah, and you can still see that rotation in that funnel cloud. And it actually intensified as we got into the early evening.
Yeah, it got bigger, didn't it?
Yeah, it intensified. Where you saw just maybe a dust cloud, almost like a dust devil in the first part. There, you could see a full-fledged funnel cloud, and you knew that it was on the ground at that point.
It was beautiful, if it could be said to be that setting sun shot with the sun setting behind the tornado.
Oh yeah,
it was quite something.
It's beautiful, but yeah, you know, you hate to see any tragedy for those on the ground, you know. But you know, it's a beautiful shot in that area. There, it was already crossed I-44 out into the rural areas and some of the farmland. So again, no real residential damage going out there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we appreciate it, Will. And you know that we have 2 helicopters that cover the state. Nobody else has that. You don't see those kinds of pictures, and it brings such a focus to events like this. And we're always glad to have you up there.
You know, I'm just glad we were able to alert people from Peoria all the way through Stone Canyon, Verdigris, Claremore, and anyone who was watching was calling people and letting people know ahead of the track. And we were pretty much right on with that track, give or take maybe 100 yards. And so we were able to really, hopefully, get people out of the way or into their safe zones and hopefully save some people tonight.
Because as you said, that storm, that was on its track for a while.
Yes.
And so you were up there keeping everybody safe and letting them know where they were going. So
I bet we'll talk to you a little later. We got some time here, so appreciate your work tonight. And as we go to break, here's some home video. I believe this is from Owasso in the Stone Canyon neighborhood as well. As this takes us out to break, we'll be right back.
Our passion is to deliver world-class service one customer at a time while creating healthy and safe indoor environments. Try the Air Solutions service difference.
So if you're the kind of person who wants it done right the first time, give us a call.
Call airsolutions.com.
Seasonal nasal allergies can really pack a punch. A pollen punch. Fight back. Ask for prescription Dymista. Dymista has the same active ingredient as Flonase to control inflammation. Plus, an antihistamine for relief in as little as 30 minutes for most people. Approved for nasal allergy sufferers 6 and older. Dymista can cause drowsiness. Do not drink alcohol or use medications that can cause drowsiness. Do not drive or do anything that requires you to be alert. Common side effects are changes in taste, nosebleeds, headache, and risk of infection. Why let pollen get the better of you? With commercial insurance, you may even pay less for Dymista than for Flonase. Go to Dymista.com to find out how. Get Dymista and fight back.
At Tusla Cleaning Systems, we invite you to come into our showroom and talk with our experienced sales staff regarding your cleaning needs. From our Landa pressure washers, our Karcher floor scrubbers, to our Optima steamers and Cuda parts washers, Tusla Cleaning Systems has got you covered. And remember, dirt, grease, or grime, at Tusla Cleaning Systems, we can handle it.
Honda believes in helping you use your garage to its fullest potential. That's why we're offering great deals on the things you'll want in your garage, like the Honda CR-V. The best-selling SUV in America comes with a standard multi-angle rear-view camera and plenty of cargo space. Great for transporting lots of stuff, say to storage or the dump. Hurry to the Honda Dream Garage sales event. You've got a garage to fill. The most durable, longest-lasting brand in its class has great deals. Now at your Honda dealer.
Airsoft Tulsa has all the gear you're looking for. With the largest selection of tactical gear, firearm accessories, and more than 300 airsoft guns to choose from. As real as it gets. Airsoft Tulsa and Outdoor Sports, 61st and Mingo, or AirsoftTulsa.com.
Start your day with Leanne, Rich, and Alan on 6 in the morning.
What we do at Air Solutions is heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. The reason we do it better is for your safety, health, and comfort. Try the Air Solutions service difference, fixed right, first time promise.
The team to keep you safe, Travis Meyer and the Oklahoma weather experts.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of this tornadic storm that moved over the metropolitan area tonight. It started out in Manford, forming there. It moved, as it usually does, in an easterly direction over North Sand Springs. That's very interesting time-lapse photography there. Then over North Tulsa, on to Turley, Owasso, Verdigris, and Claremore, and then into Craig County. And our weather experts tell us that is where it is disintegrated tonight and kind of moved into a cold front over there and is not doing any more damage.
Wow, that is some impressive time-lapse indeed. All right, well, we do have some video that Charlie Hannema put together for us that we're going to send to now. He was at 46th and Peoria. He is there tonight, and so let's take a look at this video from Charlie Hannema.
Hey, this is Charlie Hannema on storm damage. We are on 56th Street North, east of Highway 75, just west of Bird Creek. Take a look over my shoulder. This huge tree fell across the road. It actually landed on that truck back there. A family of 4, lucky to be alive, 1 adult, 3 kids. This happened about 7:15, 7:20, we estimate. 2 of the passengers, were told by law enforcement, were under 3 years old. The whole family is going to the hospital together to get checked out, but they think just concussions, scrapes, bruises, no major injuries. But traffic's going to be backed up here for a while. They're closing 56th Street North at 75 to get this mess cleaned up. But a family of 4, lucky to be alive after a possible tornado tonight.
All right, Charlie Hannema up in North Tulsa. Again, that's time-lapse photography that we were showing you earlier. And lucky for that family that they escaped any serious injury as he found them about 46th and Peoria. Yeah. Dick Farrow, want to take it away here as we continue our coverage. Travis?
Over here. Yeah, we're going to get to Mr. Farrow in just a few minutes here. He's been working on the forecast, so I have a lot to talk about. And take a look at radar and what's going on. Shower and thunderstorm activity continues up to our north. The tornado warning, which has been in effect, the storm is, as we said, was just winding down. It's still hanging in there in terms of at least a little bit of a thunderstorm. There's a few lightning strikes, but very, very few right now as that system has fallen into the colder air and just very stable, as we call it, weather environment. So it's just east of the dam right now, just east of Disney. It extends from areas from just on the south side from around Cleota to get it out, to around the Dennis area, and then extending back on up to the north. But again, this has weakened considerably just in the last 20 to 30 minutes. It has really dropped down in intensity, and we knew that it was most likely going to do that just based on the environment which has been around this particular storm. So as it moved to the east, we had the tornado warnings going on, and then as it started to move a little bit further to the east, you'll be able to see how this environment was colder and just not as unstable. Therefore, it has weakened, and as it just started to weaken, it's just falling apart. So good news there. The tornado warning, which has been in effect, I believe, I haven't seen it, the tornado warning canceled as of yet from the National Weather Service, but it should be just because there's nothing going on at this particular time. Back to the north, we do have some kind of some crazy things still going on, so this isn't over with by any stretch of the imagination. We're talking about a line of strong thunderstorms. We did have briefly a tornado warnings up around NOWATA area. We do think that there could have been some serious damage, or some damage, not serious damage, but some damage as that moved through. But tonight, again, the same area, we're getting more rain and thunderstorms forming. So this is not a real good situation for some areas that already picked up a ton of rain. We're going to look at that in more detail in a while. Plus, we have more thunderstorms forming back to the west, which will be closer to a cold front. So this is more like a dry line. Here's a cold front. Dick's going to tell us a little bit more about that. One other thing that I did want to show you was that we did have kind of a strange situation that happened as far as with the storm. Just to give you in a perspective of what happened, we're talking about conditions that were favorable for severe weather, but we didn't really think it was going to get that crazy, but it certainly did. And as we started to look at the storm, you can see from some lightning strikes and from the warnings as it went across the Tulsa area, then went to Claremore, and then started moving northeast a little bit more. So it was more on a flat horizon, or at least moving to the east. Once it started moving to the northeast, it started to weaken once it got near Pryor, and so that was the change in the track, which made it a lot different. Dick Farrow's been working on the forecast. Thunderstorms are not finished. Is that right, Dick?
Afraid not, Travis. There's still a chance of some later night storms as well. The watches are still in effect for the more northeastern areas for now. What we do get later tonight is not going to be severe, but there's still a potential for some showers and maybe a rumble or two of thunder later tonight. This rainfall map from radar estimations kind of gives you an idea as to where the main tracks were of the storms, mainly across Osage County and the southern parts of Kansas. And that one, of course, went across the northern part of Tulsa County that Travis has been describing was the one that was most severe. Right now, we're still very mild out there. temperatures have not cooled off much. We're still holding at 70. We still have a lot of moisture available, and we still have a southeasterly wind. So again, until that front arrives, we still have the potential for a shower or a storm. 77 to 64 for today, but I want to point out we've had about 3/4 of an inch of rain here in Tulsa. Again, some of you had a great deal more than that. Some of the rest of you are still wondering what you didn't get any rain at all out of it. 70 in Bixby, 69 in Broken Arrow, 66 in Skytook, so not a lot of temperature range across the immediate area. And as we look off to the north, same story. Low 60s for the more northern counties. Down to the south, temperatures are holding generally in the 60s to around 70, so we've not cooled off much so far. But as we look back to the west, still not very cool there, but the winds have shifted around to a more northwesterly direction. That's the actual cool front that'll finally reach us later tonight. And as we mentioned, it could produce a shower, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Here's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Still a potential for a shower, maybe a storm or two, but they'll be moving quickly on eastward. For tomorrow morning, we'll have a gusty northwest wind through the day tomorrow. Clearing skies, a lot of sunshine, temperatures in the 60s for tomorrow, so still very mild. Much cooler air will then be arriving for Friday morning. Notice we'll be in the 40s that morning, still with a northerly wind and generally fair skies, and only near 60 for a high on Friday. And that'll be followed by even cooler air as we look further into next the weekend. For a bigger picture, in case you have some travel plans, you can see everything is going to be well off to the east of us, but notice this next surge of reinforcing cooler air will be arriving again on Friday, and that'll set the stage for what could be a very chilly start to our Saturday morning in particular. So for tomorrow, we should be near 70. Notice we could be in the 30s in by Friday morning with that cool air moving in, those northwesterly winds, and only low 60s that afternoon. So storms finally clearing out for tonight. A cooler breeze in for Thursday, a very chilly start to our Friday morning. Then Friday after a Saturday morning, even cooler yet, with temperatures quite possibly down into the mid-30s, possibility of some patchy frost and a northerly wind. But that'll be followed by a nice rebound for that afternoon. Sunday is looking pretty good, and most of, at least the early part of next week, is looking a little more spring-like as well, and also with a much more stable weather pattern. Until along about this time next week, along about the Wednesday, Thursday time frame, things could just start getting interesting again, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets here.
It is that interesting time of year.
It is that interesting time of year.
It was last week when you were telling us in our news meetings that to watch out for this Wednesday, and that's what happens.
Well, even a blind hog can find an acorn every once in a while. So.
No, I appreciate it, Dick.
Well put, Dick.
And as we go to break, we're going to look at the video from Osage Sky News 6 HD of power flashes as Will Kavanaugh followed this storm as it made its way across North Tulsa County. Power flashes, of course, always a key to identifying a tornado, or certainly strong winds are blowing through. We'll be back in a minute.
North Carolina Furniture Mart is going outside, offering beautiful quality outdoor furniture. Since 1990, North Carolina Furniture Mart has helped thousands of customers find the perfect furniture for inside their home. Experience the same expertise and service with our new lines of outdoor furniture. Customize your style with outdoor furniture which will last. In stock and ready to take home today. Plan your outdoor look with North Carolina Furniture Mart, family owned and operated in South Tulsa at 121st and Memorial.
When kids get too big for things that they own, Children's Orchard finds stuff a new home, like an organized playroom or a neatly made bed. Our store's clean and tidy with bright signs overhead. We specialize in kids' items, size 0 up to 14. For parents raising little ones, Children's Orchard is cool and clean. It's a whole new kind of resale store. You'll notice the difference when you walk in the door.
If you or a loved one have problems hearing, listen carefully. Our new 2016 hearing aids are on sale right now with our biggest hearing aid sale of the year. For a limited time, buy one hearing aid at our normal price and get one free on our nearly invisible style. Appointments are limited, so call today and reserve your free no-obligation hearing test and consultation. Don't miss out on these remarkable savings during our biggest sales event of the year.
I want you to place this award on the podium next to the vehicle that you think was ranked highest in initial quality by J.D. Power.
This is it.
You are wrong. Actually, it's all three.
You tricked me.
J.D. Power ranked the Malibu, Silverado Half-Ton, and Equinox highest in initial quality in their segments.
That's impressive.
Wow. Chevy hit 3 home runs.
Qualified lessees can get this Chevy Equinox for around $199 a month. Chevy drives Oklahoma. Find new roads.
At this very moment, around the clock, from coast to coast, trucks are on the road hauling the essentials. From the coffee beans that wake us up to the gas that gets us to work. Who drives these trucks? Our family, our friends, our veterans. An exclusive group of highly trained men and women who help keep America moving while building a better life for themselves and their families. They are our heroes. They are professional truck drivers. Roadmaster Driver's School. We train heroes daily.
Welcome back. Quite an active evening weather-wise across Green Country. We have crews in a number of areas where these storms hit. But News on 6 reporter Emery Bryan, he was near the port of Catoosa. So we're going to take a look at some of the video that he got from earlier.
I'm just north of the port of Catoosa, and I've been following this storm here and looking at damage. There is damage here. We've seen quite a few large trees down and some homes damaged, but what we can tell so far is that no one has been hurt. As I followed this storm across the north side of Tulsa along 56th Street, once we got on the east side of Highway 169, there was some damage there with tin roofs ripped off of outbuildings, some barns damaged, large tree limbs and large trees down, but we didn't see any substantial homes damaged by the storm. As we continued on into the Owasso area and into the port of Catoosa area, we saw a lot more trees down, and we have seen firefighters out here in this area surveying the damage, but what they have told us so far is that, as far as they can tell, no one has been hurt in this storm, but there is substantial damage out here to the north of the port of Catoosa. Emery Bryan, News on 6.
And again, this will reveal itself come daybreak, and we'll be able to get a better gauge on all of the damage that we're hearing about, but have yet to see. Here's some home video again from Owasso. Don't know exactly where this is, but you can see it's a very defined tornado there. And it grew, as Will Kavanaugh was saying, as it moved further east. And don't know where this is.
But Craig Day has been in that area as well.
He has been at the Stone Canyon neighborhood and another one nearby. And of course, Stone showed us, he showed us the street sign that had blown from a mile away. This is Charlie Hanema's video from earlier today, and before nightfall, around 46th Street North, and a family escaped serious injury when that big tree fell on the front of their truck right there. So again, luckily, we haven't heard any reports of any deaths tonight. That is the good thing.
It is indeed.
And welcome back. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of breaking news and severe weather and the beginning of the News on 6 at 10 o'clock.
And we do have crews across Green Country. We have Allison and Charlie and Craig and Emery out and about and, you know, covering our storm coverage. But here, take a look at this. And this is, to me, you know, when these storms go through at night, it's dangerous, obviously, for everyone on the ground, for all the emergency responders.
There it is.
You can't see anything except when, you know, there's a flash of lightning or something like that, and like what I just saw there. And Osage Sky News 6 HD pilot Will Kavanaugh, he was on the set earlier just telling us about watching this storm, and, you know, as it did wind into some residential areas, you see those power flashes, and that's a telltale sign. But once nightfall comes, man, that is when the danger really, really increases.
And so often we have those nighttime tornadoes on this side of the state. They start in the daytime over in western Oklahoma. By the time they get here, it is so often nightfall, and which makes them so especially dangerous, as we saw tonight. Now, who are we going to go to? Craig Day back in Owasso tonight. He was at the Stone Canyon development. And Craig, what do you have for us now?
Well, Scott and Megan, tonight, the very latest information I can give you is police officers, one just pulled out. They've been really restricting access to the storm-damaged areas. That police officer, just as I was speaking, pulled out. So hopefully, before too awful long, we'll get a better opportunity to get inside the Stone Canyon neighborhood to get a better look at some of the damage caused tonight. But it's very dark. It's hard to tell the extent of damage. But we did see some significant roof damage to some homes that were under construction, but also to some homes that had already been built. Those homes had people inside of them. I talked to one man earlier. He has roof damage all over his house. He's got a windshield shattered on one of his vehicles, trees uprooted in his yard. And as you mentioned, they picked up a street sign in their front yard that came from about a mile away. So that gives you at least a little bit of some of the indication of the severity of the tornado that moved through the area earlier tonight. Just to give folks an idea of where the Stone Canyon neighborhood is, it's just off of 76th Street North, and it's just over the Tulsa County line into Rogers County. So that's where we're located right now. Now, the gentleman, Michael Ellis, who I talked to earlier, he and his family, there were 6 people inside their home, and they took shelter in their safe room and rode the storm out. He said it was a violent storm. Oh, okay. I understood that we were going to listen to some of the comments that he told us, but he said the house started violently shaking, and he was hoping and praying that it was just hail. But when he came outside, he realized quickly when he saw all the pieces of roof debris and his wife's car damage that he quickly knew that it was much more severe than just a hailstorm. He came out, and again, he has damage all over his home. There were 6 people inside the home, including a 1.5-year-old, so he is so thankful that they all did have a safe room to go to so they could take shelter. But he said it didn't last long, but a minute or so maybe, but in that amount of time, it caused some significant damage to his home. And photojournalist Michael Blair and I have been seeing some damage in this area, both in Stone Canyon and another neighborhood just to the east of Stone Canyon. Some roof damage, some tree damage, of course, fences down, trampolines that have been just tossed about, and hopefully we'll get a better look at some of that damage coming up a little bit later, Scott and Megan, and certainly at daybreak tomorrow on 6 in the morning, we'll be able to show you more.
Craig, it looks obviously like you've got electricity where you are. The lights are on behind you.
Yeah, that's the surprising thing. There's still electricity in this area. Of course, most of these are new neighborhoods, and they've been burying the electric lines, so that helps in situations a lot of times like this where you don't get the downed power lines that you might normally get in tornadic activity or severe storms. So that's one good thing that's happened, is many of the people in this area still have their power tonight.
Bit of buried power lines. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you a little later. Appreciate it.
And it wasn't just reporters on the ground, as you saw, as these storms rolled through. All of our storm chasers have been on top of it, including Darren Stevens, who I understand, Darren, you are in Claremore at an assisted living center. Tell us what's going on out there. All right, doesn't sound like we have Darren there, but it...
No, it looks like there's some activity, though, there, doesn't it? Some emergency vehicles, but no Darren Stevens, so we apologize for that. We'll try to get him later.
Yep.
In the meantime...
All right, we're going to try to, we do have Annie Chang out in the field as well, and we are just going to our reporters as they let us know they have some more updates or details for us. Again, this is a very fluid situation. Things are happening every second, every minute. So news reporter Annie Chang, tell us what's going on out there. We've had a few live reports from you, and any updates for us?
Yeah, Megan, Scott, I just got off the phone with EMSA, actually, and they are trying to juggle all of this, but they did have a few seconds for us. They say several people in this area are hurt. Last we heard, they responded to at least 9 people injured, and 1 person is in critical condition. They want to reiterate these people are treated and then transported to the hospital. They're asking for everyone, please stay off the roads, wait until morning to kind of survey the damage in the neighborhood. That way you can steer clear of the emergency responders' way. Now, there is still no power on in this neighborhood. The streets are completely dark here, so it's very dangerous. It's possible that you could step on a live wire, so they're asking everyone to just stay inside if possible. And we want to show you some video from earlier today. If you can see this, power lines just dragging across the streets, a lot of debris in the middle of the road, a lot of damage in this area. The church nearby, the roof was totally destroyed. A lot of members say that they go here and they're very devastated. They say they actually just paid off the mortgage on this church last week, and now they're learning that it's totally destroyed. So if you can see this video that we shot earlier this evening, you can see just the magnitude. A lot of people tell me that they never seen any damage like this before. They called it complete chaos here in North Tulsa. I did talk to a business owner in this area. His name is Dede Gillespie. He's going to tell us what he saw and heard earlier this evening.
I heard the sirens go off. I was working in my shop, and I have a client in there, and she was getting scared, and she said, "Oh, the siren's going off."
John, how you doing? Oh, sorry, man. I got one ear in over here, and I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm good if you're good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, welcome to.
We're ready right now.
Wait a second. Fox 23 is still there.
You guys ready? All right, so we're still
Then forget them.
This is gonna be live for us also.
Can I see your cord there? I need a wipe.
This is my white cord, my power charger.
Yeah, I can hold them all. What's your last name again?
Mackenzie.
Jenny
M-A-C,
McKenzie.
yeah.
Jenny McKenzie.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank
We're gonna
you.
be talking to Jenny McKenzie, by the way, if you want to make a decision.
1 minute out.
Yeah, we got to do a little briefing here. There's a couple other stations here, so I can get that after that.
Should I stand somewhere else, guys? Should I stand like? Okay. Is it okay right here?
You're gonna come.
It's not
You're gonna intro it,
a
right?
minute of the way. I don't know.
I'll off by a beat. You have it?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Mason, do you want me to
Yeah, Sean.
set this up? Because there's other stations here.
There's other people here. We can do it by ourselves if you in a little bit. We got to get some information right now. Right.
Yeah, they just got to wait. Bye.
Okay.
Where are we?
We're at
36.
North and Hartford.
Hey guys, so right now we're at 36 North in Hartford, about 10 blocks away from where we were. We're talking with the Officer Jenny McKenzie here, and there's a couple of TV stations here, so bear with us. Jenny, talk to us. What's happened out here?
Earlier this evening, we had a tornado touchdown in North Tulsa. We currently have roads blocked off. 46th Street North is blocked off from the Tisdale into Peoria. We have a major structure that was damaged at 46th Street North, 46th Street North in Peoria. We have trees down. We have power lines down. We don't currently.
When we say major structure, what was that?
I'm not sure what building it was, but there was one building that had significant damage to it.
And lots of power lines down. Do you have any idea how many people are without power?
We currently have 5,400 customers that are without power in North Tulsa.
Okay, and do you have a message for people trying to get to this area, maybe trying to leave, or people sitting at home right now?
Really, getting from 36th Street North to anything north of 36th Street North, you're going to come into a lot of traffic. So we just advise you to avoid the area. If you're looking for family, or you need medical, or you need help from American Red Cross, you can come to our location here at 36th Street North and Hartford, and we can help you with those inquiries.
Cool. I think that's pretty much it. He covered everything. So.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to stick around here. Coming up at 10 o'clock, we talk to.
Let me pull you over here for a second. Once I get in touch with them. Hey.
That was fun.
What's your rank?
I'm officer.
Officer. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, Mary, come in just a second.
Okay.
We'll do kind of the
No, you're
same
fine.
thing. Say Jenny or Jeannie?
Jeannie.
Jeannie, that's what I thought. I've got like this in one ear and this in another ear, and it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was that community center, Generation of Destiny Community Center. That's just south of McLean. That's where we were. That was the one that was real messed up. And then the Seventh-day Adventist Church next to it has roof damage.
Okay.
But yeah, we came here. They were like, "Yeah, go to 46 in Iroquois," and we were like, "There's no way we're gonna make it today."
Yeah, I went down Peoria and it was blocked, and then I tried to go down Hartford, it was blocked, and we went up to MLK and it was blocked. I was like, forget it, and turned around and went back.
start taking us because batteries on last.
There's Red Cross.
Yeah, Red Cross, and there'll be IMSA here, and it's like a general, do you have a question place.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, hey Scott, we've moved south to 36th Street North in Hartford. This is the Tisdale Clinic. It's sort of a staging post now. Officer McKenzie with Tulsa Police joins us now. And what's your message to the folks out here in North Tulsa right now?
Right now, we're just asking people to avoid the area. If you have a family member or someone that you're looking for, you're concerned about, or you have a question, or you need shelter or help from Red Cross, you can come to this location at 36th Street North in Hartford, and we can provide you with those that help.
There's power lines down and roads, debris in roads. Is that kind of what the concern is here, traffic-wise?
Yes, there's trees down, there's power lines down. There, was a one structure damage at 46th Street North in Peoria. So we're just trying to get everything cleaned up and safe for people to be out and about.
But no injuries that you guys are aware of, no active scenes or rescues or any of that kind of stuff?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Just traffic-wise, give us, obviously this whole area is a mess, and there's not much power, but certain places that we've got blocked off where people need to avoid?
Yes, 46th Street North from the Tisdale all the way to Peoria is currently closed. So trying to get north from anywhere from 36th Street North is going to be bumper to bumper. All the traffic lights are out, so you're going to get lots of traffic if you come this way. That's why we set up here 36th Street North, because it's easily accessible for people.
Cool. Officer McKenzie, thank you. And Tulsa Fire is going to be here. The Red Cross is here. So 36th Street North in Hartford at the Tisdale Clinic, sort of a command questions post. So we'll have more in a little bit, guys. Thank you.
Danger really, really increases.
And so often we have those nighttime tornadoes on this side of the state. They start in the daytime over in western Oklahoma. By the time they get here, it is so often nightfall, and which makes them so especially dangerous, as we saw tonight. Now, who are we going to go to? Craig Day back in Owasso tonight. He was at the Stone Canyon development. And Craig, what do you have for us now?
Well, Scott and Megan, tonight, the very latest information I can give you is police officers, one just pulled out. They've been really restricting access to the storm-damaged areas. That police officer, just as I was speaking, pulled out. So hopefully, before too awful long, we'll get a better opportunity to get inside the Stone Canyon neighborhood to get a better look at some of the damage caused tonight. But it's very dark. It's hard to tell the extent of damage. But we did see some significant roof damage to some homes that were under construction, but also to some homes that had already been built. Those homes had people inside of them. I talked to one man earlier. He has roof damage all over his house. He's got a windshield shattered on one of his vehicles, trees uprooted in his yard. And as you mentioned, they picked up a street sign in their front yard that came from about a mile away. So that gives you at least a little bit of some of the indication of the severity of the tornado that moved through the area earlier tonight. Just to give folks an idea of where the Stone Canyon neighborhood is, it's just off of 76th Street North, and it's just over the Tulsa County line into Rogers County. So that's where we're located right now. Now, the gentleman, Michael Ellis, who I talked to earlier, he and his family, there were 6 people inside their home, and they took shelter in their safe room and rode the storm out. He said it was a violent storm. Oh, okay. I understood that we were going to listen to some of the comments that he told us, but he said the house started violently shaking, and he was hoping and praying that it was just hail. But when he came outside, he realized quickly when he saw all the pieces of roof debris and his wife's car damage that he quickly knew that it was much more severe than just a hailstorm. He came out, and again, he has damage all over his home. There were 6 people inside the home, including a 1.5-year-old, so he is so thankful that they all did have a safe room to go to so they could take shelter. But he said it didn't last long, but a minute or so maybe, but in that amount of time, it caused some significant damage to his home. And photojournalist Michael Blair and I have been seeing some damage in this area, both in Stone Canyon and another neighborhood just to the east of Stone Canyon. Some roof damage, some tree damage, of course, fences down, trampolines that have been just tossed about, and hopefully we'll get a better look at some of that damage coming up a little bit later, Scott and Megan, and certainly at daybreak tomorrow on 6 in the morning we'll be able to show you more.
Craig, it looks obviously like you've got electricity where you are. The lights are on behind you.
Yeah, that's the surprising thing. There's still electricity in this area. Of course, most of these are new neighborhoods, and they've been burying the electric lines, so that helps in situations a lot of times like this where you don't get the downed power lines that you might normally get in tornadic activity or severe storms. So that's one good thing that's happened, is many of the people in this area still have their power tonight.
Of buried power lines. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you a little later. Appreciate it.
And it wasn't just reporters on the ground, as you saw, as these storms rolled through. All of our storm chasers have been on top of it, including Darren Stevens, who I understand, Darren, you are in Claremore at an assisted living center. Tell us what's going on out there. All right, doesn't sound like we have Darren there, but it...
No, it looks like there's some activity, though, there, doesn't it? Some emergency vehicles, but no Darren Stevens, so we apologize for that. We'll try to get him later.
Yep.
In the meantime...
All right, we're going to try to, we do have Annie Chang out in the field as well, and we are just going to our reporters as they let us know they have some more updates or details for us. Again, this is a very fluid situation. Things are happening every second, every minute. So news reporter Annie Chang, tell us what's going on out there. We've had a few live reports from you, and any updates for us?
Yeah, Megan, Scott, I just got off the phone with EMSA, actually, and they are trying to juggle all of this, but they did have a few seconds